Hi, everyone, and welcome to our third lesson on multiplication basics. In this lesson, you will learn how to create arrays to match repeated addition equations and multiplication equations. First, let's do a little bit of review. What is an array? Remember that an array is a set of objects arranged in equal rows and columns. They can be expressed, which means shown, as repeated addition equations. And remember, the easiest way to figure out what the repeated addition equation is to look at each row and circle how many are in each row. And then we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the next row is 6 because they are all equal. And the last row is also 6. So this right here, those 3 sixes, is actually your repeated addition sentence. So we have 1, 2, 3 groups of 6. All right. And remember that the two digits that we use in a multiplication sentence are called factors. So we multiply a factor times a factor, and it equals the product. So product is the answer of a multiplication equation. Remember, rows go from left to right like a boat, and columns climb up and down. So here's what we're going to be doing today, creating an array to match the multiplication equation. So if I have two groups of 9, I would put a grid around this array, and I would start by making one group of 9 and then the second group of 9. So if a grid were around this, before I even made the array, I would put two groups of 9. And then I would start with the first group of 9, 8, 9, and then I would add the second group of 9. And that's how you build the array based on the multiplication equation. And here's how you make an array to match the repeated addition equation. So we've got 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. And remember that each row should have that amount in it. And that's how we figure out what the repeated addition sentence is. So I would just create an array with 2's. So here's 1, 2. Here's my second 2. Here's our third 2, fourth 2, and fifth 2. So this multiplication equation would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2. So 5 groups of 2. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 as well. All right, let's do a little bit of practice. This is what your lesson activity will look like today. So let's say that this had 9 groups of 3. So what you're going to do is use these movable pieces to create an array to match this multiplication equation. So first, I would create my grid and plug those numbers or factors in. So 9 goes first, groups of 3. Then I'll move my pieces, starting with one group of 3. So here is 4. All right, sorry, I'm back. Okay, so we're going to make 9 groups of 3. So I'm going to start with one group of 3. Here's 2 groups of 3. Make sure that our rows and lines are centered. Here's 3 groups of 3. And 4 groups of 3. 5 groups of 3. Might need to move these pieces over. Here's 6 groups of 3. 7 groups of 3. 8 groups of 3. And 9 groups of 3. And there is my array that matches that multiplication equation. So here's the first problem that you guys will have today. So we have 5 groups of 4. I want you to draw that grid around. You might need to do it on a piece of paper so that you can see exactly what it looks like. So 5 would be the amount of rows, because the first factor always stands for the amount of rows, and the second factor always stands for the amount of columns. Rows times columns. 5 groups of 4. The pieces already are in groups of 4. So I'm going to click and drag. Here's 1 group of 4, 2 groups of 4, 3 groups of 4, 4 groups of 4, and 5 groups of 4. You'll know that you're done when you're out of pieces too. So let's check. Do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows? Yes, I do. And in my columns, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is 5 groups of 4. So that's what you guys will be doing today, making those arrays to match the repeated addition or multiplication equation. I'll show you guys one example of the repeated addition practice before I let you guys try on your own. All right, here's a repeated addition sentence. So we need to have 1, 2, 3 groups of 5. So here is 5 pieces. So that would be 1 group of 5. Put that a grid around. So 3 groups of 5. Because we have 1, 2, 3 groups of 5. There's 1 group of 5. Here is 2 groups of 5. And 3 groups of 5. 5, 10, 15 is our total. All right, guys, I hope that you have fun with this practice today, building arrays. If you finish early, you can use your dice to create 2 factors and draw a grid just like this one. Show the 2 numbers that you roll and use your Play-Doh to make some arrays and practice some more on your own. I hope you guys have fun with this activity, and I can't wait to see how you do.